green giant arborvitae hedge, and it's really not about the hedge, it's about propagation. So, obviously these plants cost money. A plant this size is probably about 20 bucks, if I had to guess, maybe 30. Depends on the time of year you buy it. But the secret to this is that you don't have to pay for it. You could just propagate it. It's pretty easy, simple stuff. This tree and these other trees that I got lined up here were all propagated by me about 3 years ago, maybe less. Took a little clipping. There's two kinds of clippings. There's softwood clippings, hardwood clippings. Here's another one propagated by me, another one propagated by me. Yeah, so I actually got a bunch of these propagated, and all I really did was take a clipping. Once I take the clipping, I scab it, and once I scab it, I put in some rooting hormone, and after the rooting hormone, that's it. I just let it sit for 6 weeks and go from there. And then I got a little plant, I put it in the ground. It takes some time to get this size. I would say this is about 2.5, 3 years old. Actually, I propagated these trees prior to moving here, so I would say it's about 3 years old. All right, let me go to the back, find a larger tree with some branches that we could cut off and do some propagation. So let me put you guys on pause and I will be right back. All right, guys, we are in the backyard, and this is my row of trees that I planted, and I think I'm gonna just take a clipping. So normally I wouldn't propagate this late in the season. I'd either do it earlier or I'd do it later. Someone requested to see how I propagate trees, so I'm just doing this video for him. So, but anyhow, I got a bunch of clippings I already took a while back, and they're already in pots. And normally it takes like, I think 6 to 8 weeks for them to propagate, maybe a little bit longer in the winter. You should have good airflow. I put them in a box because I feel like the dirt dries out really quick, even though they don't have big leaves and they're not perspiring, but the air is very dry, so everything's drying out quickly. But anyway, let's take a clipping and get inside. Oh, hey, I apologize for my voice, a little hoarse. I'm a little under the weather, but anyway, so here we go. Take a little clipping right from here. It's hard to do with one hand on the camera and one hand doing the clipping. Here's my clipping. There's some brown wood on the bottom. I'm gonna shave this off. Let's get to a table. I'll shave this off. I actually took a couple other clippings before, which I'll show you, and then we'll stick it in dirt. And pretty simple process. I'm no expert in propagation or anything, but what's funny, I watch all these YouTube videos and everyone's like, oh, it has to be exactly 6 inches, it's got to be this temperature, whatever. I feel like that's all nonsense. You basically clip it, scrape it, put in some rooting hormone, dip it in dirt, and pray or something, and hopefully it takes. And if it doesn't, do a lot of them. Something will take. All right, yeah, so let me go to the table and then we'll start clipping this away and cleaning it up, and hopefully get it in the dirt, and we'll see what happens with this. Again, late in the season, I take it either early or late, and I'm going to do a hardwood clipping and compare it to a softwood. I don't know if it honestly matters. I feel like both of them will root. All right, let me get to the table. All right, put you on pause. All right, so little challenge. Don't know how to hold my camera and do this at the same time, so we'll use our hands a little bit more than our shears. Just kind of want to rip everything off, strip it clean. Let me do that real quick. And here you go, stripped it totally clean. We're just going to do this one because, again, a little bit of a challenge with holding the camera and doing it. So basically, when I ripped it off, if you notice, it created, let's see if I could get it in focus. If you notice by my finger, there is a scrape. There we go. And there it is in focus. So that scrape is basically, I wounded this cutting, and this wound is where the roots are going to grow from. It's going to callus up, and then from the callus it'll start to grow. Another thing I like to do is clip some of these leaves down. Again, not real leaves, but they still perspire and they lose a lot of moisture. So here we go. We have this clipping. I clipped all the extra branches off, or I'm sorry, leaves off. Just gonna scrape it a little bit more to scar it a little bit more, so I have more areas for callus to build up. So here you go. Scraped it a little. There we go. There's my scrape. I scraped it up a little bit more. All right, let's go inside. Let's dip it in some rooting hormone, and from there, actually, I'm going to do the rest of these too, and then we'll go inside, dip them in rooting hormone, put them in some dirt. All right, let me put you on pause. All right, guys, we're back inside, and here we go. So this is the rooting hormone that I'm using. I heard there's a lot better ones, but this is what I found at Home Depot and Lowe's. Honestly, I do kind of like, if nature wants it to happen, it'll happen type of situation. Anyway, so these are scarred. I wetted them. I basically dip them in, shake it around a little bit. They get this white powdery dust. I just kind of stick them in the ground, stick them in dirt, sorry. Yeah, so let me do the rest real quick. Again, not an expert on this, but I have been successful in the past. Hopefully I'll be successful again, and yeah, I'll have a bunch of plants. But I'll tell you honestly, at this point my whole property is littered with these green giant arborvitae. So do I honestly need another 100 of them? I don't. So in the future, if you guys want green giant arborvitaes, and I even tried some Leland cypress here, and then I got some Nelson hollies. So assuming these guys propagate and you guys want some plants, just hit me up on a comment or something. I'll gladly mail them out to you. Don't really need this many, but I do get a kick out of trying to propagate them. This is my little propagation station. There you see there's like some empty cells left, some empty cells over here. And what I'm probably gonna do, this sounds silly, my friends think I'm a little weird, but I normally drive around, and if I see something cool, like a shrub or a plant or whatever, I'll take a clipping and try to propagate and see what my luck is. And I've been fairly successful. I've propagated hydrangeas, rhododendrons, I don't know, rose bushes, you name it. I've propagated a good amount of stuff. I think my next step is going to be, I'm trying to find more and more exotic looking plants to try to propagate. Not everyone's growing I don't know, ruby and chili in their yard or whatnot, so it's hard to find those. But I think over time, if I see something really cool, starting some butterfly gardens, so when I see butterfly bushes, I just pull over, take a clipping of a butterfly bush, put it in, and they're super easy to propagate. They grow immediately. Again, another plant, if you guys want them in the future, just hit me up. I probably have a ton of them propagating all over the place. Other than that, vines propagate really well. Actually, I have another one of these outside that I've been using to propagate stuff. So actually, I'll show you that real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. All right, let me put you on pause. All right, guys, this is my outside one. I started this during the summer, not summer, I would say late fall. I just didn't get around to planting everything. These are some vines. I saw them. I thought they look cool. I clipped them, try to propagate them. I think I got a few growth. This is a butterfly bush I was talking about. It's got growth coming in, new growth coming in, so it definitely rooted. These guys are super easy to root. These are a pretty cool vine. They give off a little flower. And like I said, I'm building a trail back there. So in that trail, I want to have these vines kind of creeping back and forth through the gravel. Yeah, here's a rhododendron. It doesn't look too hot because it's wintertime, but in the summertime, or when a couple of weeks ago, all these leaves were open. I think they're starting to dry out from the water. Left these guys outside. I figured they're already rooted, and since they're zone, these plants are like zone 4 or something like that. So once they root, I think I should be solid. I don't have to worry about frost damage and so on. Yeah, so again, in the future you guys want plants, just hit me up on a comment and say, hey, can you send me some plants? Love to. Probably have tons and tons of plants, and I'm constantly trying to propagate more and more stuff. Yeah, and if you have any clippings you want to share, send them my way. I'm gonna do a fig propagation pretty soon. I'm just waiting for it to be a little later. I don't want to propagate them and then have a fig plant and have to move it in and out throughout the couple of months. So when I do the figs, if you guys think you want figs, just let me know. I'll do some extra clippings. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.